Hello, 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 I am Kristen. I have not uploaded a YouTube video in 2 weeks at the recording of this here voiceover, and I feel bad about it. So what we are about to do is a 8-minute vlog where I just say things over it that are not actually entirely related to the things that you are looking at, but they are kind of related because I want to talk more generally about travel. And this is kind of a travel vlog because it's my trip to this historical place called Spandau, which is part of / just outside of Berlin. And so it is a place where I was having some of the thoughts that I now want to say to you. Yeah. So I went to this place and I walked around and I looked at things, looked at all of these brand new things that my eyeballs had never seen before. But I still felt unfulfilled because I just feel like a lot of my travel experiences don't really fall within the discourse or the popular discourse around travel that I'm used to seeing on social media. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. In case you're not sure what I'm talking about, a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter and the internet talk about travel with words like exploration, cultural immersion, life-shattering perspective shifts, changing your entire worldview through exposure to new things and ideas and people and culture, and it just doesn't really say what I actually feel when I'm in a new place doing something that supposedly should be called travel in the exact same vein that those things claim to be travel. What I tend to feel is more like, oh wow, that's kind of neat. Whoa, architecture, that's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before. But also, there's a lot of even more critical thoughts and not just not exciting enough thoughts, like, what even is exploration? How am I supposed to be exploring? What is explorable? I'm just kind of walking on a new set of streets, but the streets contain most of the same things that exist on the streets that I have seen, like stores and restaurants and places that people live. The houses, or the buildings, I guess, they're a bit different size and shape and color maybe and texture, but they're essentially the same thing. Essentially the same thing as all of the other buildings that I've encountered, because it's a building. It's a building where people shop or work or eat or sleep. And just wandering around and seeing those things doesn't really make me feel like I'm exploring a new culture. Similarly, a lot of travel doesn't really feel like it should be allowed to be called immersion. Like, is just eating the food that the locals eat immersion? If I don't speak the language, I cannot possibly immerse, right? And even if I do, or I did speak the language, how are you supposed to, like, interact with locals in a normal and comfortable way? Is that possible? Are you immersing if you do that, or are you intruding? I guess you can learn some history in a new place by like reading the plaques or Googling it beforehand, but like that just seems like a fun way to learn history, by like seeing the place. And it seems like travel isn't always framed as just a journey to stand in the places where different parts of history happened. But maybe I could get on board with that interpretation. The other thing is, the only really like perspective shattering thing is that imagining drawing a straight line between like where I am currently standing and my home in the United States within like the 3-dimensional space of the Earth being a sphere involves like passing through some of the outer bits of the core of the Earth, and that's pretty wild. That is definitely like life-shattering and something unique to travel, but like it's not really about where in the world you are, it's just about like us living on a really, really, really big sphere. Something else I commonly think is that, wow, this sure is a place where people live, or maybe where people used to live, and they seem to do all of the same things that humans I know of do. Like having a job and eating food and going out for fun sometimes. And so I guess I just don't really see what this magical value to traveling that people seem to talk about online really is. Am I doing this wrong? Am I just not enthusiastic enough about being in a new place? I can't stop wondering what makes the fact that this is new so life-shattering, though. I hope you have found this interesting, and I hope if you have answers to any of my questions, or if you agree with some of my thoughts, you'll let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching. And feel free to subscribe. Okay, thanks, bye.